Hey everyone, it's Colleen Gallagher here with Colleen Gallagher International. How are you? I hope you're doing amazing. When you join, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from in this beautiful planet that we're existing on. I always love knowing where everyone is and where they're sharing and what's going on. I'm going to be on two platforms, so if you see my eyes looking in two places, that's why, which is always a really great experience to have more of you who are community members join. And if it's your first time, welcome. I'm super excited to be here with you. And if you're returning, I hope you'd say hello and I hope you'd say that you're watching on the replay because I really value authentic connection and I really value these platforms in a way to get to know each of you and get to know what's going on in your life and what's happening and really how we are supporting ourselves to rise and making a difference in the world through love and through beauty and through everything. So, with that, we'll get into today's what I wanted to teach, what I wanted to share. Today, what felt really alive for me, what I wanted to go into, is how to create your fairy tale life. And Justin, how are you? I wanted to really dive into how do we create this fairy tale life and what is a fairy tale life? Because I know I have so many of you, a large community of you of men, and it's kind of interesting that so many of you that are men and masculine leading beings are curious about the fairy tale and wanting to embody the fairy tale. And so I wanted to kind of go into a little bit of a story and then kind of go into how do you begin to really live this from a tactical way. And at the end of this live, I'll give you a few ways that you can take action to work further together. So, what is a fairy tale life? Well, how does this really start? So I wanted to share, when I began my journey in awakening, and what is an awakening? I guess we all kind of say this, that like this word gets thrown around, like I've awakened, or I'm living in the consciousness, or I'm living in awareness, or I'm not living in the matrix anymore. I believe that the term awakening really comes through to us when we realized that we were living a life where we were asleep in a way, where we were kind of going through the motions of life, thinking that we were doing the right things, thinking that we had it all figured out. And then there was a moment that happened in our life, whether that moment was through a divorce or whether it was through a change in a career or a car accident, or for me, having cancer and then choosing to awaken from a corporate paradigm and move across the world to New Zealand all on my own. We have these moments in our life that like jolt us like a lightning bolt, that support us into this greater awareness. And once we have that awareness, we can't unsee it. It's like once we have the pathway of how to be happy or how to be fulfilled or how to be healthy, right? We can't unsee that pathway. From that point, if we choose not to be healthy, it's a choice. It's not like we don't know the way to be healthy, the way to feel fulfillment, the way to feel happiness, the way that's going to bring us the fulfillment and the success that we want to see. We're just making another choice that's not in our highest timeline, that's not in our highest availability. So for me, I went on this journey when I had cancer at a really young age, and I had all this anger that was inside of me. And I don't know if many of you ever have experienced that, but it was like a really deep rage and a really deep anger and a really deep frustration of like, why is the world like this? And why are people doing this? And I don't understand. And I'm so angry of like the injustices that happen with like black and white people. And I'm so angry about the injustices that happen with like Hitler. Like, how do these people just stand around and do nothing? Like, there's no one doing anything in the world. And I had all these like just deep rage, and I had this deep anger inside of me of like, why is the world going like this? Why is the world functioning like this? And why does no one seem to care about how to make it better? Why does no one seem to care about like wanting to raise their hand and be part of the difference to like leave the world a better place? And I was like, everyone's so addicted to money and everyone's so addicted to making sure that they just do the right thing in life so that then this can happen, and they don't realize that they could wake up and die tomorrow by getting hit by a car, and they're like wasting their life away. Like, don't we realize how short this time is? And I just had this just deep anger and frustration that lived within inside of me for really 9 years, really, really deeply. And there came a point in my life where I had this moment, this awakening, that I wanted to live international. That was my dream. I just wanted to live international. I wanted to travel the world you would have told me I could just travel the world, I'd be happy forever. That was like my biggest dream. Now a lot has obviously changed and transformed and ascended since then, but that was my goal. If I could do that, I would have just felt on top of the world. So I had this experience where I lived international, and basically I packed all my shit. I fulfilled my dream. I lived international, and I went back to the same corporate job, and I still had the same deep anger. So I literally made my dream happen. I lived international. I got the same job. I was doing the same things, and now there was just this deep emptiness and this deep anger and this deep void. It's like, I did the thing. I did the thing that I wanted to do. Like, I finally did it, and I'm still just so angry. I'm still so unhappy, and I'm still so like, why is this going on? And so there was this moment that happened in my life that I had to realize that there was something that had to happen within. I had this awakening that I can't just do all these external things in the world, like flying on a company jet and buying all the clothes that I wanted and going out and partying and like waking till the sun comes up and having these deep, intimate conversations with people. And it just felt like it was going nowhere. I wasn't making a difference. I was still stuck in the same life, in the same loop, in the same pattern. And this moment came in my life where I realized, whoa, this path to awakening, it's not like you just have one moment and you're awake. This path to awakening is a consistent devotion. It's a consistent progression. It's a consistent pursuit. And as I was kind of having all these feelings come up and all these experiences come up, and I was just so angry and I was just so frustrated, and I was like there would be times, you guys, I would be so having so many ideas in my head. It was like I was like an explosion of my mind. There was so much going on in there, like a euphoric Disney World, or like a euphoric creative bubble that was just oozing out over everything. And when I had this creative bubble that was just oozing out of things, my body was like debilitated. It's almost like I couldn't move because I was so lost in my mind. I was lost in all of the thoughts of my imagination that were going on. And I began to realize that I had to change my habits. I had to change my paradigm. I had to do something that would support me to somehow communicate what was going on inside of my head, so I wasn't just trapped in my body and I wasn't just lost in this paradigm of what is actually going on in this world and what's actually happening. And I'm so angry and I have these ideas, but like I can't do anything about it because I'm just laying here in this whole world going on inside my mind, but I'm not ascending to where I want to be. Like my body is not getting to where my mind is. My body is not moving in the direction of where my mind's imagination is going. My body is not receiving the abundance or being abundant in the way that my mind is. And so I went on this journey where I got this idea to write a book. And that was my first book, Live Your Truth, Begin Your Journey to Freedom and Healing. And when I wrote that book, it makes me emotional. When I wrote that book, it was the first time that I was getting things outside of, like getting things that happened inside my mind, like negative experiences, or like reasons why I was angry with people or with corporate America, or I was feeling ungrateful, or I was feeling frustrated. And these things were getting out of me onto paper, which was like releasing this paradigm out of my body. It was like, oh my God, my body feels lighter. Oh my God, my body doesn't feel like it's carrying so much weight. Oh my God, it doesn't feel like that. I can't move because of these stories that are in my head. It feels like things are getting outside of me and I'm becoming lighter because I'm not carrying these programs in my mind or these stories in my mind of why I can't do something, why I'm angry, why I'm frustrated, why this isn't going to work. Like I'm getting it out. I'm like an expression, like a volcano, like it's coming out of me into the world, which is now clearing space for my body to have more presence, to have more room for just serenity, for new choices instead of reliving the same narrative over and over and over again. And so my first book came and I wrote my first course with it, and I just had this experience where my life became like a fairy tale, where it wasn't like this oh my God, I met a guy and I was ran off into the thing. It was like, wow, the fairy tale was that I was living my life by design. I was living my life the way that I wanted to by traveling the world and being myself instead of by default. I was like doing these things that were supporting me to get where I wanted to go. And as I kept doing that, and I started sharing on social media, and I started actually creating a career out of writing, I created a career out of expression, I created a career out of healing, I created a career out of how to communicate what was happening inside of me, but not a space from anger, a space from empowerment, a space from how can I share this energetic world, this imagined world that's happening, this subconscious mind, this world of consciousness that I'm connected to, the invisible field. How can I communicate it in a way to support others who are just like me, who are struggling with this, who are lost in their mind and they can't move their body in the direction they want to go? And as I began to do this, as I began to communicate, as I began to shift, as I began to transform, something really great happened where I began to look better, I began to feel better, and I began to create really a life beyond my wildest dreams, where I get to have the freedom, I get to have amazing clients, I get to work with incredible people who have overcome incredible circumstances. We're now sharing that into the world to make it an incredible impact and an incredible career. And so I wanted to come on today as this moment of how to create a fairy tale life. It starts by you looking at getting what's happening inside of you, your internal world, your internal mind, getting what's happening inside of you out into the world. It's beginning to understand, like, how do you clearly articulate it? How do you effectively communicate it? How do you begin to express in a way that's from an empowered state and from an anger, and instead of from an anger and frustrated and like I want to scream and kill everybody vibe? And when you do that, you begin to lead yourself into this very sensational and beautiful space where you're alive and you're present and you're engaged with life instead of a bystander watching your life happen, thinking you have no control or no charge over it. And so I wanted to come on and just share that, because if you don't know or you haven't seen, all of September, my writer's course, it's my number one writer's course, how to create, write, share, receive your lifestyle career in 4 weeks. We're running a special for it where you get to go through it live with me, where if you're a coach, if you're a healer, you're a light worker, you're someone who's struggled with deep pain, and you're ready to learn how to express yourself in a very healthy and an effectively communicative way, so you can build a career on your expression. You can build a career on the way that you perceive reality, and you can support others in becoming empowered and rising. This will be the course for you. So it's 4 weeks. It's going to be all of September. I'm so excited about it. We have 4 live calls. We have, I think it's like 7 or 8 recorded modules that you get access to, and some bonuses with meditations. And it's really going to be a space where I support you as the overachiever, the magical overachiever, the healer, the coach, the aspiring writer, to effectively communicate what's happening in your inner world, so that you can really create that fairy tale life. You can live with the mystic and the logical. You can live with the beauty and the brilliance. And you can really be the difference that you want to see in the world from this space of peace and fulfillment instead of anger. So all you need to do is comment below, writers, or I want to be a writer, and just message me and I'll get you the link for it. It's going to be an incredible, incredible experience that I'm so thrilled to offer. And it's one of my favorite courses, because when people begin to really practice this deep expression of themselves, it's just so rewarding to watch what comes through people, because it's so beautiful. And then the second way, that if you're maybe not ready for a full month with me or a full course to kind of go into your expression, go into your trauma, go into what's holding you back, go into owning who you really are, the truth of who you are, then my wisdom channel is for you, which is a monthly membership. It's a community that we have on Telegram, where I share 4 things a week that are usually what I would share with high level coaching clients, but it's just like little mindset activations. Let's say little, they're big mindset activations, subconscious reprogramming, homework assignments that are supporting you to be that next level. And there's a regular option and a VIP option. So the regular option, you get access to the 4 times a week where I share something to kind of activate you into your highest consciousness or your highest state. And then we have the VIP option where you get access to a bunch of my past recorded online modules and training that I've had with previous memberships. And we have one live coaching call a month. So you get one live coaching call. It's the first Wednesday of every month, and we go live and we talk and we share, and it's a credible experience. So anyway, you can message me Wisdom Channel for that, and we can get you the link for that. But I really hope that this served you all. I really hope that this was a good experience for you. And I just want you to know, wherever you are in your journey, you are so loved and you are so cared for. And the only way that you're going to begin, though, to really get where you want to go is when you take action to be accountable to someone other than yourself. Being accountable to someone who's going to hold you in your highest timeline, being accountable to someone who's going to make sure you follow through on the commitments that you make. Because when you don't have that person supporting you to follow through on commitments, you kind of fall back to the bystander of your life. So that's why these courses or these coaching programs or my containers are so important, is because it gives you that accountability as an overachiever, where you're not just achieving and achieving and achieving, but really taking that time to self-reflect. Is this the direction you want to be going? And is this the greatest alignment of your highest timeline? So anyway, if this served you, please share it. Feel free to tag a friend, and you can just message me Writer for the 4-week Writer course details, which is through all of September, or you're able to message me Wisdom, and I'll send you my monthly community for my Wisdom channel. But either way, I hope that this served you, and I can't wait to talk with you soon. I love you.